Clint Eastwood is 89 years old. Do you realize that? The man is almost 90 years old, and he just keep going. He's older than Martin Scorsese, and he just keep going. He just keeps making movies. Richard Jewell. Directed and produced by the one and only Clint Eastwood comes his brand new film, which is based on the true story of the 1996 Olympics that were held in Atlanta, and a bombing happened with 111 people injured and 2 were reportedly dead. This was something that could have even gone even worse, more casualties, but we had a security guard named Richard Jewell who did save people's lives. He recognized the bag before the actual explosion, and he saved more casualties than it actually happened. There were, obviously, it was a huge thing. It's devastating, it's terrible, but he did save lives until the media was like, hey, and the FBI and the federal government was like, hey, you're a suspect, and then his world is turned upside down. This movie was a movie I didn't really care for. When I saw the first trailer, I was like, I like Clint Eastwood, the story seems interesting, but if I missed it, I missed it. Then I started hearing that Oscar buzz. I was like, alright, I gotta see it. And I'm really glad I went and saw it tonight, and it was a really just well-acted movie and a really good story. That's gonna be the highlights of this movie. The story and the acting, because the main guy who plays Richard Jewell, he was in the Black Klansman, and he was in also I, Tonya. He plays smaller comedic roles in those movies, and this movie, he has changed my perspective on him. He can act. There is one scene that had me tearing up because of him, because of his acting. He was excellent in this movie. If the Oscar race wasn't so gosh darn tight this year, I would say he's going to be nominated, but I don't see it happening. But he is fantastic. Sam Rockwell is Sam Rockwell. He's really good. He's dramatic. He's charismatic. I love Sam Rockwell. He's a badass, and he's so likable in this movie because he's the one in the movie that says, screw you, FBI. He says, hey, John Hamm, F you, when Richard Jewell, he wants to be as a police officer. His whole life he wants to be a police officer, and he respects them. And then when they turn their back and say, hey, you're a suspect, he still acts nice to them, and you hate it because you're like, be mean to them. They are just calling you out, basically, and he keeps respecting them. I'm like, dude, don't do it. But it's got good acting, good story. And the real scene stealer of the whole movie, well, really, I would say she's probably getting nominated for supporting actress. I could see it happening. Is Kathy Bates. She has one really, really good scene. You'll know what scene it is. But, I mean, she's good throughout the entire movie, but there's definitely a scene you're like, you are the reason why Misery is one of the best movies ever made because of her. Like, just her, because she's such a good actress. In this movie, she does it again. And Clint Eastwood did a really good job making this movie very much a, yes, it is about Richard Jewell, the bombing and everything, but it also gets to deal with, like, how the media can really affect someone's lives and how they're stuck in their house and pictures are taken. Everything you say is accountable. Like, there's so much to it. And Clint Eastwood did a really good job of this movie. The scene where the actual bombing is, the build-up to that scene had really good tension. I really liked it. The movie had actually good light humor, comedy throughout, and very, very dramatic and very intense scenes. It's just a really good story. It's really inspirational, and you really do pull for this guy. And I won't spoil the ending because I didn't know about this. I knew about the bombing, obviously. It was the Olympics in Atlanta. I just didn't know about Richard Jewell. I didn't know what he did. I don't know if he did it. I didn't know any of it. So I went into the movie very unknown, so I was very pleasant with how the movie ended. I definitely felt like this felt real. It felt like a real ending to me. If I had many issues, honestly, my only issue is I would say it's 15 minutes too long, maybe. And also, Olivia Wilde is totally not a character in this movie. She is a villainous cartoon. She was such a cartoon in this movie. I just didn't believe her. But she did make a really good movie this year called Booksmart. Shout out for that movie. But overall, Richard Jewell is definitely one of, if not one of the best Clint Eastwood movies he's ever made. I really think this was like definitely a great movie he's made in a while, since like Gran Torino. And I really just, I enjoy the story. The acting, like I said, from everyone is just really fantastic. Except for Olivia Wilde, who just really goes over the top. You care about the Richard Jewell. You cared about this character. You cared about what he's going through. You cared about everything that was happening to him and all the bad and all the good. How he was such a likable guy. This movie, this movie makes you like him. He follows the rules. He is a security guard, but he wants to be a cop, and he does whatever to save these people. I'm gonna give Richard Jewell a B+. I definitely recommend this movie to go see. It's definitely worth a watch, and I really like this movie. It was a really good story and good acting, and I definitely teared up like twice. Definitely in one scene, which was just fantastic. Anyway, guys, enjoy this review, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, guys.